Halo, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Well, first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Nelly Arif from Universitas Jambi. In this occasion, I would like to present my writing or an article entitled Comparison of English Language Education among three Southeast Asian countries, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Brunei Darussalam. Well, for the introduction part, there are some points or keywords that I put. The first, education system, educational goal, development of science and technology, and comparative studies of educations. Now we will see the correlation between the first keyword and the others keywords. Okay, as we know that each country develop an education system with the aim of improving the quality of the life of the populations. So they believe in the importance of education that can change human existence to the formation of the education system is considered to be a means for the effort to achieve educational goals. So it means that if education system in one country is good, so will give the impact to educational goals. Educational goal can be reached. Next, the development of science and technology of different countries with different level of development indirectly affects the development of education system in each country. So mean here, science technology give the effect to educational system. Education system, educational goal, development of science and technology have correlation each other. Good system make educational goal can be reached. And then science and technology can support to reach or to get educational goal. And the last about comparative studies of educations. This I want to give a slight skeletal information about comparative studies of educations, that is to improve the quality of education in one country, is the purpose, one of the purposes of the comparative study. We will see this more after this. For the next slide. In this part, literature review, I put some points, definitions and purposes, definitions of education's comparison or comparative education. And I got from 1 G2 1996, stated that comparative education is as a discipline, the study of educational system in which one seeks to understand the similarities and differences among educational systems. Okay, this is from Saudi 2006, stated that comparative education as focusing on various education systems. And next, about the purposes of comparative educations, we compare the system of education from one country to another country to get the similarities and the differences. Okay, the purposes of comparative education I got from Harold and Mates 1993. The first is to describe educational system, processes, or outcomes. Second, to assist in the development of educational institutions and practices. Okay, next. The method I use for my article here is literature studies. Literature studies from various relevant sources. Talking about finding and discussion started on my title, I want to compare the educational system from three countries, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Brunei Darussalam. I want to talk about Indonesia first. One aspect is about curriculum. So There are many changes of curriculum in our country. It also happened to the English contents. In 2013, our government have removed the English subject from elementary level. So there is no obligations or obligatory for the school to teach English anymore in the elementary school level. So we know that before curriculum 2013, we have KTSB, before that we have KBK, and so on and so forth. So there are changes in curriculum. And then English language teacher. In Indonesia, based on Al-Wasila's finding or statements 2013, that to become an English teacher in junior and senior high school, one should have an undergraduate diploma from teaching and education faculty below. Those who attempt to become a civil servant under the central or local government system should undergo an entry test. If they pass the recruitment test, they are placed in different regions in Indonesia. Next, we want to talk about education in Malaysia. The first about curriculum. Education in Malaysia as a whole under the laws of the Ministry of Education, which is responsible for managing the education system from the basic level to the university, regulating the syllabus, controlling national exam, and overseeing the development of education. In Malaysia, English teacher education is purchased at colleges or universities. College is a private foundation and over 3 or 4 years educations. 4 years education, the same as Indonesian curriculum. Next, Brunei Darussalam. How about curriculum in Brunei Darussalam? The shift from teacher-centered to student-centered method is one of the important issues that distinguishes in curriculum SPN 21 from Dwi Bahasa. So the first curriculum before SPN 21, we know the curriculum used in Brunei is Dwi Bahasa. So from Dwi Bahasa come to SPN 21, where in curriculum SPN 21, here teacher-centered to student-centered. So they have the model, student-centered model. It's the same, I think, for all countries like Indonesia, Malaysia. Brunei has concern about providing English language training to other Asian member countries. And then the continued success of this program and policies, it is further focused on the English teacher education as another aspect of the Vision 2035 addressed. Okay, next, the last slide, conclusions. Conclusion, as we can see on the screen, there are similarities and differences. Similarities from the part of curriculum and English language teacher. The version also the same. We can see from the curriculum and English language teacher. Talk about the similarities from curriculum side. The first is there is changing by the time between curriculum in Indonesia, Malaysia, and Brunei Darussalam. The second similarities is much more student-centered by the use of new curriculum in Malaysia, Indonesia, and Brunei. They focus on the student-centered, not the teacher-centered. And then talk about the similarities in English language teacher side. There is teaching practicum at the end of their education at university level. Okay, differences from the curriculum. If In Indonesia, the government removed English from elementary school. It's quite different from what happened in Malaysia and Brunei Darussalam. They tried to implement English subject in the beginning of the school level, from the elementary, from the first grade, they have to implement English. That the differences between Indonesia, Malaysia, and Brunei. Brunei still use English as a compulsory subject for elementary level of their school, but Indonesia removing the subject. And talk about English language teacher, Brunei involving in action research practice activities and in curriculum designs. So it not happened in Indonesia, yeah. Well, I think that's all my presentation dealing with comparisons of English language education among three Southeast Asian countries, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Brunei Darussalam. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.